Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Today, we're looking at Udemy.
As usual, before we start, subscribe, like, and comment to this video to support the show. And if there's a specific company you want us to look into, leave it in the comments below.
So let's get into the analysis.
Yeah, let's do it. What's the first thing that jumps out at you?
It has to be the earnings trajectory. It really looks like the business is hitting a major inflection point.
Absolutely. We saw that in the Q3 2025 numbers. Revenue came in strong at, what, $195.7 million?
Right, which is solid. But the real headline, the thing that everyone was talking about, was the EPS.
13 cents.
13 cents. I mean, it just crushed the consensus estimate of 4 cents. That's a 225% beat.
And it wasn't a one-off thing either. Q2 was also a really significant beat.
Exactly. This is starting to look like a pattern of efficiency, and that's driving confidence. You see analysts now forecasting full year 2025 profitability.
That the EPS estimate's around 53 cents, right?
Yeah, around that mark. And it's all being fueled by this shift they're making towards subscriptions. Specifically, the enterprise side is just showing this really consistent strength.
And their fundamentals look pretty good to back that up.
Yeah.
The balance sheet looks, really clean.
Very low debt. That gives them so much room to reinvest back into the business.
And they are. We saw that $50 million share buyback they authorized after the Q2 results.
Which is a huge signal, right? That's management telling you they think their own stock is undervalued and they're confident in their ability to generate cash.
Plus, they also put $2.5 million into a content innovation fund for their instructors. They're shoring up that core asset, which is the content.
That's a perfect transition, actually. Let's talk about their competitive position.
Because it's not just a library of courses anymore, is it?
Not at all. Their moat, their real advantage is built on two things. First is just the sheer volume of that instructor-created content.
And the second?
Their AI-powered personalization. That's the key.
Especially for the enterprise clients. That personalization, it creates really high switching costs, doesn't it?
Huge. Because these companies, they start to rely on Udemy for things like skills verification, for implementing microlearning.
It builds a really powerful network effect.
And we've seen several major strategic partnerships that just underscore this enterprise focus.
You have to talk about the LG-CNS partnership.
Oh, absolutely. That deal is a massive win for their expansion in the Asia-Pacific region. It locks in access to over 500 Korean firms.
That is a huge regional foothold. And it's not the only one.
No, you've also got Workera, which is for AI skills intelligence, and then M-Train for compliance training.
And compliance is one of those key regulated market segments that's always going to have a budget.
Exactly. And all of this is sort of leading up to the really big future catalyst.
The 2026 AI microlearning rollout.
That's the one. This initiative is designed to convert their huge library of long-form courses into these adaptive, bite-sized formats.
All reviewed by instructors, which is key for quality control.
Right. And that just amplifies their lead in flexible, skills-based learning. It's their answer to keeping employees engaged.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit, let's look at the technical picture. What's the market sentiment like right now?
It's predominantly bullish. We saw the shares pop, what was it, around 2.9 to 3.2% after that positive analyst note from KeyBank.
So the price action itself is looking pretty constructive.
It is. The stock is forming higher lows, which is a classic sign of accumulation. Buyers are stepping in at higher prices on each dip.
And analysts are pointing to that subscription acceleration as the catalyst for a potential breakout.
Yeah, they're talking about a potential $9 target.
And what about the key indicators? Are they flashing positive signals too?
They are. There's chatter about a potential golden cross, which is a pretty major long-term bullish signal.
That's where the 50-day moving average crosses above the 200-day. For those who don't follow the charts.
Exactly. And we're also seeing some hidden bullish divergence on momentum indicators like the RSI and the MACD.
So what does that mean in simple terms?
It suggests that there's underlying strength building up, even though the stock had that recent 31% monthly drop.
Which might have actually created an attractive entry point at some key support levels.
It could have, but we have to look at the flip side too. The money flow and the bear case.
Right. It's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it?
It is. I mean, on one hand, you have big institutions like Vanguard and Connor Clark increasing their holdings.
But on the other hand,
Greenvale Capital sold a pretty large number of shares in Q2. They still have a small stake, but it's a sale. And the CFO also sold 25,000 shares.
Yeah, insider selling is always a point of concern. You have to note it.
It is, though, that $50 million share buyback from the company does help to mitigate some of that concern.
But I think the biggest risk, the one you hear the most, is just the slow revenue growth.
Exactly. The current forecasts are predicting growth of only about 4.4% annually.
Which, I mean, that lags way behind the industry average. That's closer to 15%.
Yeah, way behind. And that slow growth is the reason the stock has been trading at such a depressed valuation.
A price-to-sales ratio of just 0.9, which for a tech company is.
It's incredibly low.
So that's the real debate for investors, isn't it? Is that depressed valuation already pricing in the low growth,
Yeah.
making the stock cheap?
Or is that low growth a persistent problem that's going to hold the stock back?
And the bull case argues that those 2026 AI catalysts are the path to reversing that forecast.
That's the whole thesis right there.
We also have to mention the rumor mill. It's highly speculative, but potentially transformative.
You're talking about the Coursera rumor.
Yeah, the possibility of a combination or a merger between the two.
Which is, completely unconfirmed. We have to stress that. But an M&A event like that could create just immense scale in this new AI era of edtech.
It would be a massive catalyst for the stock price, no question.
So looking ahead, what's the next known data point?
That would be the Q4 2025 earnings report. It's scheduled for February 12th, 2026.
And the consensus EPS for that quarter is actually a bit lower at 5 cents. So expectations are already set pretty low.
Which could set them up for another beat. The other major factor is just the continual build-up to that 2026 AI microlearning rollout.
Right, and any updates on the macro environment, specifically around the demand for AI upskilling?
So, when you put it all together, you have strong recent earnings beats, major enterprise partnerships, and this future AI roadmap.
It really looks like a setup for multi-year growth, especially when you factor in that current low valuation.
It feels like a compelling case for investors who are willing to hold into those 2026 catalysts.
I think so. The fact that they've hit this profitability inflection point, combined with that low price-to-sales ratio, it provides a kind of margin of safety.
Assuming they execute on the AI strategy, that's the big if.
It's always the big if.
That's a great summary. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to subscribe to the Investing Talk podcast for more in-depth looks at the stocks moving the market.